This lesson will teach you all about subjects and predicates. You know that to have a complete sentence, you must have a noun and a verb, but really, you need a subject and a predicate. The subject is the noun, the what or the who the sentence is about. The predicate is the verb. It's going to tell something about the subject, usually what the subject is doing. Let's look at this sentence. Judy and her dog run on the beach every morning. We have a couple nouns in this sentence: Judy, dog, beach, and morning. But what is the sentence really about? The sentence is about Judy and her dog. That's the subject. And what are Judy and her dog doing? They're running. So in the example sentence, Judy and her dog run on the beach every morning, you're finding the verb, and then you're asking yourself who or what is doing that verb. The answer to that question is your subject. In this sentence, who is running? Judy and her dog. Let's look at this sentence. We spilled popcorn on the floor. Well, where are our nouns and pronouns in this sentence? We is a pronoun, popcorn, and floor. And our verbs, in this sentence, there's only one, spilled. So spilled is going to be the verb of the sentence, or the predicate. And who or what is spilling the popcorn? We did. We is the subject. Here's a hint that may help you labeling subject and predicates. Remember prepositional phrases, where we put the parentheses, starting with a preposition and ending with a noun or pronoun? Those prepositional phrases gave us more details about our sentence. Your subject and predicate cannot be part of the prepositional phrases. So when we marked prepositional phrases in our sentences with parentheses, nothing in parentheses can be used for your subject or predicate. Remember, our trick for prepositional phrases was we read the rest of the words outside of the parentheses, and if it made a complete sentence, we knew we were right. Well, that complete sentence is made up of a subject and a predicate. So when you label your subject, predicate, and prepositional phrases, all of them should be separate from each other and shouldn't overlap. Let's look at these sentences. We're going to find the subject in each sentence. Start by identifying or marking the nouns or pronouns. My is a pronoun, brother is a noun, and finger. But what is the sentence really about? The sentence is about my brother. What about the second sentence? His Uncle Bob asked for directions. What are the nouns or pronouns? His. Uncle Bob. That's two words, but Uncle Bob is one person. And directions. What is the sentence about? Well, the sentence is about his Uncle Bob. A lot of times, your subjects are going to be more than one word, and we'll look at that a little later. What about in these two sentences? Those soldiers carried guns. Or what about the sentence, our babysitter arrived late? Can you find the subject in each sentence? Did you mark those soldiers as your subject? What about our babysitter? Soldiers and babysitter are nouns, so they're the subjects of the sentence. In this example, what are the subjects doing? For our first sentence, those soldiers carried guns. The soldiers carried. That's the predicate. And our babysitter, what is she doing? She arrived. So remember, our subject and predicate is what makes a complete sentence. The subject is the noun or the pronoun that the whole sentence is about. The predicate is what that person or thing is doing. Sometimes we might just label the simple subject or simple predicate. You're still looking for a noun or pronoun in the subject and for a verb in the predicate, but it would just be one word when everything else is taken away. That leaves you with the simple subject or the simple predicate. Let's look at this example. A piece of chocolate candy would taste great. Well, the main word in the subject is the noun piece. We have some other nouns like candy and the idea of it being great. The whole subject is a piece of chocolate candy. But remember we talked about prepositional phrases. You can't use those in your subjects. So the subject of this sentence is piece. One piece. That could be talking about a lot of other things, which is why we use the prepositional phrases to help us understand a piece of what. Is it a piece of pizza or is it a piece of candy? Try finding the simple subject in the sentences here. My little brother broke his finger. What is the simple subject? The one word, the who or the what, that the sentence is about. In the first sentence, your simple subject is brother. In sentence 2, your simple subject is Uncle Bob. Try sentence 3 and 4 on your own. Can you think of the simple subject for those sentences? If you picked soldiers in sentence 3 and babysitter in sentence 4, you're correct. The complete subject would include some extra words, usually adjectives that help describe our simple subject. So if our simple subject is brother, then the complete subject would be my little brother. Those are words that help us understand more about our subject. The complete subject for number 2 would be his Uncle Bob. For number 3, those soldiers, because we know which soldiers we're looking at. And for sentence 4, whose babysitter? Our babysitter would be the complete subject. But remember, the simple subject, keep things simple and easy. One word. A simple predicate is very similar to a simple subject. Remember, a predicate is the verb about the subject. So a simple predicate would be how many words in the predicate? Just one verb. Let's look at some examples and see if we can find the simple predicate. In this sentence, a piece of chocolate candy would taste great. Remember, our simple subject was just piece. If we're looking for our simple predicate, we don't want all the extra descriptive words that go along with our verb. We just want the main thing that the piece is doing. Well, in this sentence, the piece would taste. That's the simple predicate. Try to find the simple predicate in these sentences. Remember, you're looking for just one, maybe 2 words, but usually one. My little brother. That was the subject. What is the subject doing? He broke. That's the simple predicate. Try 2, 3, and 4 in your head. What do you think the simple predicate is? For sentence 2, his Uncle Bob asked for directions. What is his Uncle Bob doing? He asked. In number 3, what are those soldiers doing? They carried. And our babysitter? She arrived. The complete predicate would include extra words, words that help describe or give more information. So in number 1, my little brother broke. He broke his finger. Broke his finger would be the complete predicate, the whole thing that my little brother did or is doing. One of the last things we're going to look at is compound subjects or predicates. Sometimes a sentence may have a compound subject. That's going to be a simple subject so one main noun or pronoun, but it's made up of more than one noun or pronoun. Let's look at an example. Here's a sentence that has a compound subject. Team pennants, rock posters, and family photographs covered the boys' bedroom walls. In this sentence, we have a compound subject. All of this is the subject of the sentence. It's kind of like a list. So we see a comma and a conjunction, the word and, grouping all those together. We can't separate them if there's a conjunction, so it's a compound subject. In this sentence, what do you think is the compound subject? Her uncle and she walked slowly through the art gallery and admired the beautiful pictures exhibited there. Well, who or what is the sentence talking about? The sentence is talking about her uncle and she. And one of our clues is that conjunction and. We have a compound subject. Remember, a hint for finding the compound subject is to look for the conjunctions. We have a conjunction in sentence 1. The compound subject is the nouns that the conjunction are joining. So the compound subject is my little brother and my cousin. In sentence 2, we have another conjunction. The compound subject, his Uncle Bob and Aunt Betty. Try number 3 and 4 in your head. Did you get those soldiers and agents for number 3? And did you get our babysitter and her friend for number 4? If you did, you found the compound subject. A compound predicate is pretty much the same as a compound subject. You'll look for conjunctions that are joining 2 or more verbs together, telling what the subject is doing. Here's an example. Mother mopped and scrubbed the kitchen floor. Who or what is the sentence about? Mother. That's the subject. And what is mother doing? She's doing 2 things, joined by the conjunction. She mopped and scrubbed. Try these sentences. My little brother bruised and broke his finger. What did my little brother do? He bruised and broke. His Uncle Bob looked and asked, joined by a conjunction. Remember, you don't use any words in a prepositional phrase. In sentence 3, what did those soldiers do? Carried and used. And in sentence 4, what do you think the compound predicate is? Overslept and arrived, joined by the conjunction. Now you're ready to continue with your blend space. Remember, you have to complete boxes 2 through 6, and then you can use the timer in box 7 to let you know when it's time to be done with any other activities you choose. When you're done, go to the end, box 18, and make sure you complete the Google form and follow the directions at the end for a possible bonus activity.